Clear. Anybody have a pulse?
Now, Pulse is giving off some major Grey's Anatomy vibes. What do you make of that comparison?
Should we be so lucky? We certainly have, you know, a tongue-in-cheek reference to the show.
Did you watch a lot of Grey's Anatomy growing up?
Yeah.
Try to learn that.
Are you ready for what's about to come your way? Because I can just see Pulse being wildly successful.
I mean, I think that it's a really special show, and I think we're all really excited about it. So it's one of those things where it's as exciting to see what the audience reception is to it, and more exciting because we all love it.
Out of care and concern, I am keeping you here monitored until we know more.
Meredith Grey, a beloved TV character. So is it kind of a pinch me moment to think my character could be compared to her in some capacity?
I mean, I think they're very different characters.
How so?
I think that Danny is kind of singularly both suited to be an emergency room doctor, and also the things that make her so well equipped for her job make her sometimes challenging to work with.
Yeah.
And I think that the medical genre is just like a great way of jumping into the lives of a lot of people who wouldn't necessarily be together at the same moment, who are forced into incredibly close proximity. So I feel like it's like, as a genre, I feel like it's just it's a really cool way of starting out in terms of like exploring who these people are.
The former Reacher star plays a very Meredith Grey-like doctor, Danny Sims, who calls the shots. Instead of Seattle, the show is set in Miami, but they are in a level 1 trauma center.
We're losing him.
Other Grey similarities, the Netflix medical drama streaming now has messy power dynamics, a tight group of residents, and a cast that's bringing some McDreamy McSteamy heat.
So many, I mean, love triangles, squares, can you even count them? How much do you enjoy that element of the show as well?
What I love about the show is I think that all of those storylines come from a place of like humanity.
Yeah.
There's nothing gratuitous about the storylines in the show, and I think that that is what is going to keep people invested. Even though it is a really fun show and it's a really like delicious show, I think that there's also real complexity to the choices that these characters are making.
I need you. I need my friend to not leave me right now.
I'm not going anywhere.
Dr. Elijah.
I know.
I mean, Danny, give him a chance.
Well, you know, he's a best friend.
Honey, he does not need to be friend zoned, I can tell you that
Best
for
friends.
sure.
She doesn't have a lot of friends.
This is true.
Maybe not worth it to lose one.
Yeah, you definitely need an ally in that emergency room, that is for sure.
I'm worried about neck fash.
Yeah, of course you are, because you love being dramatic.
I mean, it really is off to the races from the jump.
He's critical, let's get him to trauma too.
We land in this level 1 emergency room on the cusp of a hurricane, and also just as Danny Sims's personal and professional life are exploding simultaneously.
Were you in love?
I thought I was, yeah.
And I think it's also, I don't know, I think it's also a special medical drama because we have this simultaneous arc of understanding what's happened between Dr. Sims and Dr. Phillips, and getting to dive deeper into that relationship through the flashbacks and the way that the stories kind of like interweave through time.
Do you think Xander's endgame? Or is it just too messy?
I mean, I think they both need to grow up.
Yesterday, Phillips got reported for sexual harassment.
Wait, who reported him?
They know it was me.
Now, the hospital is also facing a sexual harassment incident between your character and Xander.
Yes.
Oof, their relationship is something.
Yeah.
How surprised were you to see how this relationship, their dynamics unfold as the season continues?
I had so many conversations with our writers and our showrunners before launching into the show, before signing on to the project. And I think that what was really exciting to me as an actor, looking at where the story goes, was all of the ways in which we live in a gray area of human choices and imperfect decisions with imperfect information. And also this like really interesting arc that Danny gets to go on over the season of understanding the the childhood history that's made her the person that she is today, and all of the ways that that affects how she sees the world and the people she interacts with. And I think that that's just like a really cool journey to get to take as an actor, and was really supported by such great scripts and such complicated storylines.
And I love that there's such diversity and great representation in this cast too, and the storylines as well. Is that something that was super important for the cast and the creative team when approaching this show?
Yeah, I think it's really reflective just of kind of what a emergency room would look like in Miami too. I think that there's really a truth in that story that we're telling.
So this storm, it's going to be a direct hit, and we're going to write it out.
How difficult was it to shoot scenes like that?
I mean, it's obviously always another layer on top of everything else.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, it was really interesting to shoot that stuff because it's real.
Yeah.
You know, like, we're living in a world that we're having more natural disasters than we've ever had historically, and it's becoming more and more prevalent. And I think it was really interesting to kind of launch into the show with a literal hurricane both inside the hospital and outside of the hospital.
I mean, what a way to kick off the show.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
The intensity is
I mean, no
just
one likes to
there.
be wet all day. That was the bad part of it.
I can only imagine. What was it like training to be a doctor in extremely heightened situations? I mean, were you sitting in on surgeries? Were you chatting with doctors? Were you going to the ERs?
Yeah, well, it was kind of a pretty fast start. I had about a week and a half when I got to Albuquerque before we started shooting, which is like wild. And sometimes that's how things happen.
Yeah.
So we had sort of like a medical boot camp that was like 2 days with our medical professionals who were with us every day while we were shooting.
Wow.
And that was kind of like, drinking from the fire hose, just trying to like really understand the day-to-day workings of what we would be doing in pretty much all the scenes when we're doctoring.
In a week and a half or two?
In a week and a half.
Oh my God.
And then the Saturday before I went to go shoot, I went and shadowed a doctor in California and was there for a day. And that was really amazing and so helpful because I think I just was, it was so clear to me the level of professionalism and calm that was like very essential to the task of being an emergency room physician.
How proficient are you in medical jargon these days? Are you like diagnosing family, friends?
I was always, cusping on that already.
Oh, were you now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm the person in the friend group who people text me and they're like, what do you think is going on? And I'm like, well, in my professional, not a professional opinion. So now it's just gotten worse.
We never know what could happen in season 2. Are there talks of season 2? What are your hopes for Danny if you guys get that?
It's up to the audience. You know, I think it's very much like if everyone loves this show, then hopefully we all get to come back. And I think that the end of the season really like leaves off at a place where there's infinite possibility. I mean, I think that the writers did an amazing job of creating all of these fully kind of complicated human characters who have infinite paths to walk down. And some things are tied up at the end of the season, some things aren't. There's a lot of space.